Hey, beautiful soul. Before you start comparing yourself to everyone who seems to have it all figured out, I want you to pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Because if you have been feeling like you're behind, or that somehow you failed because life still feels confusing, I want to tell you something that maybe no one ever told you before. You're not a loser. You were just never taught how to be helped. When other kids were growing up, they had people around who were actually there. Parents who noticed things, who asked questions, who showed up for the small stuff, the daily fears, the little mistakes, the random I don't know how to do this moments. But you grew up figuring out life alone. Even if you had adults in the house, emotionally, you were raising yourself. You were expected to know things nobody ever taught you. You were asked to perform perfectly, to act mature, to stay quiet and behave, while never being guided through the actual how. Other kids had someone who showed them, here's how you do this. You had someone who asked, why don't you already know? And that's not the same thing. So now, when you struggle with the simple things, when you freeze under pressure, or when you overthink every step, it's not because you're broken. It's because you were trained to survive, not to be supported. You know what's crazy is that most of us never had anyone genuinely curious about how we were doing. No one checking in every week asking, hey, are you okay? How's school? How do you feel about this? What's been hard lately? We didn't have that adult friend who held our hand and said, tell me everything. I want to understand. So we learned early to carry everything silently. We learned to say, I'm fine, because explaining was too heavy. We learned to comfort ourselves, to think for ourselves, to figure things out alone because there was no safe space to fall apart. And that kind of loneliness does something to your nervous system. It wires you to feel unsafe in your own vulnerability. So now, even when people do try to help, you don't know how to let them in. Because nobody ever showed you what safe help feels like. Here's the truth. You are not behind in life. You are just building life from scratch, while other people were handed instructions. They had families who modeled responsibility, consistency, self-belief. You had to build those traits out of thin air. They were given tools. You had to invent yours. And that takes time. You are teaching yourself how to regulate emotions, how to plan, how to stay focused, how to receive love, how to feel safe, all the things that others learned quietly by watching their parents. So, of course, it's taken you longer. You are not rebuilding, you are building for the first time. And that's something most people will never understand. So please stop comparing your timeline to theirs. Your path is not late, it's sacred. You are not slow, you are learning alone. And that kind of strength deserves to be honored, not shamed. It's easy to think you're weak when you struggle. But think about it. You walked through every chapter of your life without a guidebook, without emotional support, without someone consistently reminding you that you are worthy. And yet, you're still here, still trying, still healing, still searching for softness in a world that taught you to be hard. That's not losing, that's resilience in its purest form. Yes, other people may have had their hand held through life. They had mentors, encouragement, reminders that they mattered. You had silence. And you still built something from it. You still became someone. You still kept your heart open. That's not weakness. That's courage most people will never know. So, no, you are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming the woman you needed when you were a child. And maybe nobody showed you how to live, but you're doing it anyway. You are teaching yourself. You are healing your own nervous system. You are walking through life with open eyes and open heart, refusing to let your past define your future. And I know it's hard, it's messy. Some days you just want someone to say, I see how hard you're trying. So let me be that person for you today. I see you, and you are doing beautifully. You are not a loser, you are the proof that love, even when it comes late, still rebuilds everything.